Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be reviewing various countries' reactions to the Israeli genocide of the Palestinians in Gaza and to a certain extent in the West Bank as well. And we see, starting off with, that Turkey has recalled its ambassador from Tel Aviv. They've had diplomatic pressure that is mounting. So the population of Turkey wants Erdogan and wants the Turkish government to be doing more. And Erdogan, it's believed, will soon be followed by Arabic nations as well. Turkey is not an Arabic nation, it's a Turkish nation. However, it is a Muslim nation, just like a lot of the Arabic nations. And so Erdogan and Turkey tend to take the lead, or historically they have taken the lead, in terms of defending the Islamic faith. And so hopefully seeing Turkey take the lead here will enable other countries to also recall its ambassadors and hopefully sever ties entirely. And hopefully eventually that will lead to boycotts of oil, food, etc., so that Israel does not have access to that, so it cannot continue its genocide. We see Turkey is starting to remove things that are supportive of Israel. So Turkey removes Coca-Cola and Nestle products from cafeterias and restaurants inside parliament because the companies allegedly support Israel. So some good news, a little bit mild compared to what they really should be doing, which is cutting off oil to Israel. Then we see a person out of Australia who is a former politician named Doug Cameron. And he says he has witnessed the overt influence of Israeli governments on Australian politicians. They get trips to Israel. A sophisticated, unrelenting program to educate politicians has led to immediate response to years of institutional repression of Palestinians. So the Australians really can't do much to help the situation. Next, we have another Islamic power, which is Jordan, which should be very sympathetic to the Palestinians, but unfortunately has not been doing as much as it should. And the Jordanian prime minister says Jordan will consider any attempts to evict the Palestinians from Gaza Strip or the West Bank as a declaration of war, which we already have leaked reports that they are planning to move the entire Gazan population to the Sinai Peninsula and make it into a refugee crisis for Egypt. So Jordan, Egypt, take note, that should be your red line to declare war. That's explicitly what the Jordanian prime minister is saying here, but they haven't actually declared war yet, even though they know that's what's going to happen. Then you see Algeria, which the Parliament of Algeria, this might have been a symbolic vote, but if other major regional powers take an active role, they take the initiative and declare war on Israel, it seems like Algeria might follow suit as well. So the parliamentarians in Algeria voted in favor by 100% to give the president the authority to declare war on Tel Aviv over the extermination of Palestinians in Gaza. And he scheduled an address for the nation on November 3rd, but it did not, no war declaration was made. It was just a kind of a fluff speech. Next, we have by Stop Cop City here saying that South Africa recalled its diplomats from Israel to signal its concern over the situation in Gaza. Ideally, they would completely sever ties as well, but you see that African and Latin American nations are really doing a lot to support the Palestinians, while the Muslim nations are just completely neutered by the West. Here we have Honduras announcing the recall of its ambassadors to Israel for consultation due to its violation of international humanitarian law in the Gaza Strip. So again, Honduras, Colombia, Chile, all of those countries in Latin America are really doing a lot because they understand the struggle against Western hegemony, because they've had to face the oppression being suppressed by America, for the United States of America, for a lot of its history. And so here we have France, and France on one hand says it's perfectly fine to insult the Prophet Muhammad because of freedom of speech. But then also in France, French senators are proposing a bill to make Zionism criticism a criminal offense. So if you criticize Zionism within France, it's a criminal offense. A group of 16 French senators, mainly from the Republicans Party, introduced a bill to criminalize anti-Zionism. Denying the existence of Israel could lead to 1 year in prison and a €45,000 fine, while insulting the state of Israel may result in 2 years of imprisonment and a fine of €75,000. So that's ridiculous. Israel is a genocidal power right now. The fact that you can be imprisoned for multiple years for calling them out, for supposedly insulting them, is insane. And then they say those directly provoking hatred or violence against Israel could face up to 5 years in prison and a 100,000 euro fine. So just shocking that this is occurring in a Western, supposedly democratic nation. And Senator Lee Rudier argues that anti-Zionism is linked to the increase in anti-Semitism. So you're not allowed to criticize Zionism because it might lead to hatred of Jewish people. I'm of Italian, Greek, and Jewish descent, and I don't think that's the case. I think you're allowed to criticize Zionism without it being anti-Semitic. And you see Arnaud Bertrand here talking about the bill in a little bit more detail, and says exactly that. So here's how the bill reads. Bill proposal to complete the penal framework sanctioning anti-Zionism. Article 25 of the law on July 29, 1881 on the freedom of the press is restated as follows. Article 25, those who by one of the means stated in Article 23 have denied the right of the state of Israel to exist will be punished by 1 year imprisonment, insulting the state. Okay, so that's what we talked about before. So that's specifically how it's worded in the bill. Just shocking that this is potentially going through. But then let's see, what about other democratic nations? Are they beholden to Israel as well? Are they Zionist-occupied governments as well? And we see here by Keith Woods saying that immigrants not being loyal to the German nation was never a problem for their government, but not declaring allegiance to a foreign country, such as Israel, will now be enough for deportation. So Keith Woods is saying that clearly one group comes first in Germany, and it is in Germans. And so this thing that he's quoting, CDU leader Friedrich Merz has accused Berlin neighborhoods of not being adequately German and has demanded new immigrants to Germany declare their allegiance to Israel. That's what it means to be German nowadays. That's wild that we are at that point. And so I'm going to leave you off with America because this is really the best part. I don't know. I don't even think we should listen to it. I don't want to hear it. But this is the best part so far. Here you see how Zionist controlled America and the entire West is. Stu Peters at Real Stu Peters on X says, here's the U.S. Army singing the Israeli national anthem. And he goes on to say, we are not a sovereign country. We're a puppet state of the satanic Zionist international mafia, which I completely agree with. And if you want to listen to this, you can listen to the disgraceful U.S. Army sing the Israeli national anthem. So completely beholden. You have politicians wearing IDF, Israeli Defense Force uniforms. You have the American military singing the Israeli national anthem. Completely Zionist controlled government. So that's what I'll leave you with. Feel free to watch that if you really want to hear the Israeli national anthem. I don't want to hear that garbage. I don't think Israel has a right to exist because it's a genocidal nation that has overtly admitted to committing war crimes, and it is genociding the Gazan population. If you found this video to be informative, though, please give us a thumbs up, a like. It helps us in the algorithm. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and Rumble. Please leave us a comment in the comment box below with any questions, concerns, critiques you might have. I'm always interested in hearing it. I always read it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.